If you guys didn't know, there is a giant meteor that landed in the world of Red Dead Redemption 2. It's almost reminiscent of the Tunguska event in Russia. Now, if you go to the site of the fallen meteor, you can actually see the similarities, and I'd say that they're pretty similar with the trees and whatnot being pushed backwards and all. But I think the real question is there anything more to this meteor? And any kind of other insight we should get into this. You can actually acquire another meteorite in a little cabin not too far away from the giant crater, and I think a lot of you would say that the meteorite that landed in the cabin was actually just a chunk that got separated from the bigger one located at the giant crater. But what makes me think otherwise is that there's actually smoke rising up out of this one, which makes it seem like it happened very recently, and the bigger one doesn't necessarily have that. Interestingly enough, if you come back later as John, you can see that the meteorite is still smoking as if it had just landed, and it really gets you thinking, did Rockstar do this on purpose, or did they just forget about this and leave it in? Rockstar is really known for their attention to detail, and a lot of the Easter eggs around the world are continued after the several years that pass in the epilogue. Something like the Exorcist girl outside of Braithwaite Manor turning into a skeleton in the epilogue. This developer doesn't screw around with their attention to detail, and I doubt that they'd forget about a freaking meteor strike in their game. You can actually get a special power from this meteorite in the cabin. I know, that's pretty crazy. You're probably wondering how I know this. Well, it comes straight from the official strategy guide of Red Dead Redemption 2. This comes straight from a passage in the guide. It goes as follows. This structure is the home to a meteorite that you can pick up. This valuable has an interesting property. It decreases the effects of exposure to hot environments by 10%. Now, we never really get any indication of this in the actual game, and to be quite honest, I'm not sure if this is still true or not, because a lot of the strategy guides these days are made before the game is even finished, and they could have possibly changed this, but what convinces me that this is still true is that there is still smoke coming out of this crater all these years later, as if this meteorite is, special in some way or something. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm looking too deep into this, and probably am, but again, with Rockstar's track record with detail, it wouldn't surprise me that this theory that I have, could be true. I mean, after all, this is a special meteorite, apparently. Now, of course, you can pick those two meteorites up, but what really makes me think about all of this is that there is still one meteorite that apparently no one has found yet. At least no one online has posted about it yet. You can look into your satchel and it'll say that you have 2 out of 3 meteorites, and obviously that begs the question, where is the third one? I'm gonna assume that it very well could be around the location of the giant impact crater in the game, but I couldn't find anything, unfortunately, in my time playing the game. But of course you can find the second meteorite pretty close to the crater, the big crater, and of course you could use that same logic and apply it to the third one, so it could possibly be around in that area. I read a lot about people's speculations online and how they think it might have fell somewhere in a river or something, and I think it's a possibility, but the only problem with that is that John can't swim and Arthur can. So, if we had to go in a river, we might have to use Arthur to, find this thing. People have speculated about the meteor in the giant crater actually killing all the dinosaurs in the world, because of course you can go ahead and find a bunch of dinosaur bones scattered around the world, and honestly, I don't think that this is true due to the fact that the meteor looks pretty recent, and honestly, it doesn't look like, it did that much damage considering how small it is. What I think is the most interesting thing about all of this is the fact that the original Tunguska event, which I think this meteor resembles, or at least pays homage to slightly, actually relates to Nikola Tesla, and how there is a theory about him doing tests out in Russia and causing the explosion. Now, obviously, that's a bit ridiculous in the real world here, and it was most likely caused by an actual meteor. But I think that it's really interesting because there's a character known as Marko Dragic in the game that resides not too far away from the location of the impact craters for these meteors. It's almost as if they're making a nod to this as well. Apparently Nikola Tesla, aka the guy in real life, made a super weapon that did this, and, they covered it up by saying it was a meteor or something. I think it's safe to say that a meteor hit the world of Red Dead Redemption 2, considering we can actually see them, but I think it's still pretty interesting to see that, Marko Dragic, who is an obvious fictional character based on Nikola Tesla, has a lab very close to these meteorites. Now, obviously, that could be a bunch of random speculation coming from me, but at the end of the day, I think that these meteorites have some more significance to them than we originally thought, because maybe, perhaps, they have something to do with the alien conspiracy in the game, which I also made a video about not too long ago, and if you want to go check out, I'll put it up on the screen right now. But I mean, who knows? Maybe aliens sent the meteor here or something like that. I mean, what are the odds of a meteor crashing into a cabin that tiny? I mean, that would be like winning the lottery and then winning the grand prize 3 times in a single day or something like that. Obviously, this is just a video game, so I wouldn't look too deep into something like this, but all we know is that there is a third meteorite somewhere around the world, hidden away, that no one has found yet. Maybe once you collect all 3 of them, something will happen, but of course, that's just speculation again. Let me know what you think about all of this. Do you think that something might happen when you find the 3rd one? Did you maybe already find the 3rd one? Maybe someone has already found the 3rd one. I mean, I haven't seen anything yet, so I wouldn't know. I thought that maybe this had something to do with the Undead Nightmare DLC that a lot of people are speculating about, and maybe the 3rd meteorite doesn't exist anywhere, but instead it's like a giant troll that Rockstar put into the game to keep players looking around aimlessly until the Undead Nightmare DLC comes out. I don't know. Again, this is all speculation at best, and we really don't know what's going on. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think about all of this. Do you think that maybe, possibly, these meteors have something special to do within the game? Maybe they lead you to another secret mission or something like that. Of course, we don't have a PC version of the game, so we can't just look into the coding of the game that easily, and I definitely think that this could lead to something. But, you know, no one has found the 3rd meteorite yet, and we have no indication as to where to find it, of course, from the internet, of course. I don't know that if anyone has found it, they haven't posted it or something. Let me know, again, down in the comment section below if you found it. That would be really cool of you, but I doubt that anyone has found it yet. So what do you guys think? Again, why is Marko Dragic really close to these impact craters? It just really gets you thinking, all this kind of stuff. And, you know, who knows, maybe he used a super weapon on the house and the crater in the woods, but obviously you can see the meteorites, so I really don't know. This is just a huge mystery in the game, among many other mysteries that we, you know, have found in the game. And of course, I think with a lot of these mysteries, all that we can do is just keep on playing and trying to find all of these things, and hopefully eventually someone stumbles onto the 3rd meteorite or something like that, and hopefully it'll lead us to another mission that we weren't aware of, or, you know, something like that. I mean, hopefully we don't have to wait until an Undead Nightmare DLC or something like that. I don't know, maybe if you get all 3 of the meteorites, you get a special power or something like that. That would be pretty insane. But that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, because it only does take a second out of your day to make mine. And with that out of the way, have a wonderful day and see ya in the next one.